Pantheistic Atheism Refutation. Further atheism role players and career move charlatan refutation, as well as those who like to play with ideology and are not appreciative of the solidarity of morality. The pantheistic ontology of heterodox atheism and its heresies as divisive use as an argument against truth. The conjecture and use of fallacies and the irresponsibility of political persuasion. The twisting of scripture and variance of meanings bringing congregations into one false or partial understanding, and the contradiction of progress, calling one thing as a presupposition statement or argument to entail the pretense for what can only be a political stance, for a righteous endeavor has left the common man desolate in understanding of true deliverance, as they are made to know God under the purview of what God had not intended. Had left man to be a proper authority to shepherd the sons of humanity, and this has been misused blatantly. We live in a time where radicalism is in proliferation, unchecked, and there is no effort being made to bring back to affirmation of any edification, as academics itself has become the grounds for initiation of ideological anarchy. An encouragement of vehement self-exaltation as the true paradigm of ideals regarding life and definition are in question, having been established. This has led to the formation of an electoral student body ideology developed by the use of psychology, academic philosophy to form the paradigm of supposed self-actualization and what it means to be successful, without a moral integration of what is to be done with the values that the person should adhere to, indeed provide them with understanding that they are to hold up in truth, righteousness, rather have held the truth in unrighteousness. The dissertation that words can be misconstrued from relevance is stated by power, a word of truth, that held man's fixation of some rather frivolous use of. Pantheism doesn't work because there is no place or thing or being to which can be known to identify with what is life. Only a creator establishes ordinance to one's existence. Without, one is left at the whims or notion of what or who they are, because there is no relation to a defined origin to which can give the subject, a created being, coherency about that which gave them the very reason or ability to ask the question of life. Pantheism doesn't work because without a creator, there is no proper understanding of creation, because there is no willingness to accept an origin of intelligence that one has inherited, or a higher power of some sort to which one can define and attribute meaning. If a person is in fact a nihilist, why would they spend so much time defending their perspective? And for that matter, what reason would he have for refuting anything I've said? If nihilism is true, then how did I write all of this and establish any kind of rational logic? Given I speak in terms of life and objective, natural, ordinary phenomena, for that matter, what about all the words in dictionaries? Some of them must have been much more accurate, while others are particular with conjecture. All is left to subjectivity if there isn't anything of a apparent fatherhood to man, rather than the apparent whims of eternity playing itself out in our formality of understanding, being a deconstructive, progressive model in which intelligence was able to form from a finite point, and yet did not already have the property to facilitate the entire creation of the universe, and a progression greater than anything of its smaller facets or creations within could possibly supersede, unless it has the defining property of creation, which is why man has believed to have received the spark of divinity, which we state that man is made in the image of God. For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him will the Son of Man also be ashamed when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Mark 8, verse 38. An evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except the sign of Jonah. So he left and then departed. Matthew 16, verse 4. There is a dichotomy. Even if we lived in a deconstructive, progressive universe, the expression is still rising to its full bloom in its prime, or is what's been said and debated and have come out somewhat inconclusive due to some rhetoric on it being past its prime. The changes, this is from Google, the changes can be seen in every wavelength of the light, showing that it's all energy that's declining, not just particular kinds. The upshot, our 13.7 billion year old universe is past its prime and sliding into its waning years, August 11, 2015. Everything that is alive in the spirit has its full expression at some point. I guess Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11. God bless. I will say that I was listening to a discussion momentarily, which I have heard more than a few times, and we are all generally familiar with it, even so much that a comedian had made a bit on it. As the children, specifically toddlers, ask questions on everything and anything. Seems like it's in our nature to ask and find answers. Yeah. I put the ha as in, like, a seemingly kind of just moment of realization. Proper one, of course. The person had said, and paraphrasing, toddlers, as soon as they can speak, begin asking questions about everything, even things that humanity still have no answer for. A former online discussion associate. A proper apologetic in regards to responsibility of man's decisions, and refutation of role players who claim atheism and ICG connotation without involving God and objective morality, for the sake of career moves or those who do not act in good faith. As well as discussion on pantheism itself and how it does not prosper man's understanding, since it leaves a subjectivity and vagueness of established truth and allows for doctrine to be swayed to any direction and turns belief, religion, spirituality, life, and makes variance of truth to a degree that is not a progression of actual profit in what is the purview of God, life, and existence. A foreground for the charlatan mysticism that is New Age belief in religion, that is well known for being ideological playgrounds of guru secular humanism, with spiritual connotation and moral edification, to which the basis of all godliness, order, and appropriation are loosely cherry-picked ideals and allude to not much more than self-exaltation and even play with the ideas of the devil being not necessarily evil or promoting the subjectivity of evil itself.